Hey, Mary, thanks for joining. Yeah, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great. How's it going with you?
Great. Having a nice week.
All right. Uh, all right. Let's jump right into it. Can you start by telling a bit about yourself, Mary?
Sure. Um, I am a community professional. I've been in communities, running communities for about 12 years now. I've worked with HubSpot and Forbes and Outreach and Sales Hacker. And I really like working on the strategy and building the community and then scaling it so that it can grow on its own.
So that's so I was going through your LinkedIn profile earlier. So I've seen that yeah, as you've said, you've grown, you grew communities at HubSpots. I mean, inbound.org, uh, Forbes, Outreach, Sales Hacker. I mean, I look. It seems like you are one of the few certified community professionals out there who knows how to build communities from scratch. So. Uh, shall we set the theme of the conversation to how to grow a community by yourself? What do you say?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. I wouldn't say that I'm one of the few. I think there's some of us, like there's many. It's just not as many as other professions because we're still relatively new. So, um I'm not as special as it might sound.
Don't undermine yourself.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, I saw that you were currently working for Outreach, building their community over there, building the community over there. Can you talk about the community in detail?
Sure. Yeah, it's a customer community called The Peak, and it has been started before, but has, because of people changing positions or leaving the company, has not been kept up. So it needed a full relaunch and full strategy and workup and everything to start it over. The platform's already there, but nobody's really active. We do have a beta program for admins that use Outreach, but that's the only thing that it's being used for. So a few hundred people use it to join the beta programs, but there's probably 4 posts a month at the most.
Okay, and these people who join the community, what are their professions? What are their roles like?
A lot of them are managers for sales companies or they're in RevOps. So they're actually the ones that are taking care of the instance of outreach for their company.
Okay. So what's the 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 vision behind the community?
So this community is about giving the admins and customers a place to connect, be more successful as customers of outreach, and learn from other customers. So we've seen that a lot of customers want to meet other customers who are using outreach.
So there's going to be a peer-to-peer interaction, with each other.
Right.
Yeah, I think that checks one of the fundamental principles of a community, right?
Mhm.
That's great. So shall we break down this conversation into a step-by-step procedure of how to grow a community?
Sure. I can go right into that.
All right. Yeah.
So just about every company that I've worked with, and I've contracted with companies and consulted with companies along the way and all of that. It's about taking their community, their customers, and turning it into a community. The way I look at it is that most companies already have a community. They have their employees, they have the experts on their team, the management, they have customers that are big supporters of the company. So building a community and how we look at it as a community, like a forum or discussion area, really is about taking that community and harnessing the power of it into that platform so that it can be used for the extended community, for all of your customers or the entire industry. So any company, even SocioHub or Outreach or any place already has people that follow them on email and social media. It already has your employees. So getting those people excited about participating in founding a community and starting a community is really what you're doing. You're looking for a good 20 to 50 people, could be even more, like 100 customers that will take the time to help build up the activity in this community that will be the foundation of the community in the future. So you start with reaching out to these people, asking them, are you interested in helping me build this? Do you agree with the vision for it? How can you help? Would you post activity? Would you post questions and content? Can I ask you to post comments and respond to people? Once you have those people, it's really about scheduling out that content and putting it into the community. So reaching out to person A and saying, hey, I asked you to schedule a question for today. Can you go ahead and post that for me? Oh, and you know what? There's 2 other posts from yesterday that I'd love for you to take a look at. And you want to have that one-on-one relationship with people. You don't want to go into a group of people and say, hey, there's 30 of you here, can somebody go answer this? Because what you'll end up with is 1 to 3, maybe 5 people who always answer and always do it, but you're not getting the diversity that you need. So one-on-one relationships. What happens from that is, as that activity is growing, you want to keep inviting new people in. So you spend some time on that activity, spend time with your founders group, and then you spend time inviting new people slowly. You want it to build up slowly so that you're not overwhelmed, the team's not overwhelmed, and there's not, a 15 minutes of fame for your community. So inviting people over time, as those new people see the activity that your founders group is already doing, you're building relationships with them. It's not just one-on-one anymore. It's them coming in and seeing that you care so much about the people in your community that you care about them too. And as that happens, more of those people will participate. They'll sign up to be a member, they'll sign up to be a subscriber, and they'll stay in touch with the newsletter. And eventually they might actually post or comment. Some of them will. And many of them won't. They're just there to learn, but you're still building a relationship with them. They're building a relationship back to that company, so they have a tie there. And then from there, you just keep building on the content you have. You can, as the community picks up and starts doing its own activity, you have more time to build bigger events. I like to use events from the very beginning. I'll set up a call like this where it's just an interview and members can hop on to watch and listen. It doesn't take a lot of time to set it up. It doesn't take a lot of preparation. And then over time, you can spend more time on preparation as the community is more running itself.
Yeah. So I want to point out one of the things you mentioned there. So when you spoke about building a one-on-one relationship with your community's members. So if it's a huge community, like if it has say 15,000 members, like a community like Outreach, how do you make sure that you are speaking to the right people, or so yeah, it's hard to scale having one-on-one meetings with most of these people, isn't it? So how do you scale or prioritize such meetings with the community's members?
Right. So there's two ways to do this. So in the beginning, you start talking to everyone. You try to look at them and see where would they be a part of this community? Are they somebody that's just a learner? Are they somebody that says, I love Sales Hacker, I love outreach, I want to do more. What can I do to contribute? And putting them in the right place. When you start out, you're going to have a lot of relationships that or conversations that never turn into anything, but it does turn into word of mouth. So, one, it's identifying the right people as you're having those conversations and giving them jobs, like letting them participate and contribute. Um, and then two, it's what I was talking about, you start small, you start with 50 people or less, and you build that up, constantly inviting more people to come. And as that activity grows, they don't just have relationships that they're making with you, it's now within the other people in the community. So those one-on-one relationships, you're kind of enabling for those people to build their own one-on-one relationships that continues the network of your community.
Okay, yeah, I think that makes total sense. Yes. So I think it's more of a word of mouth thing than you going to each member of the community and talking to them about what they want and all that. So
Yeah, you talk to them one-on-one, but you also build up your advocacy, the people that are in that founders group that want to help by spreading the word and enable them, help them understand what the community is about and how they can participate. People like having a little job to do to show that they're part of a community. You like to have people that welcome everyone or people that respond to support messages, and building that out helps you scale from one person managing and growing a community to 30 people quickly.
yeah, okay. So in any community, there are some people who are very active, and there are a lot of people who want. How do you make sure that those inactive people come back and may say they post something, or how do you encourage them to be proactive in the community?
The inactive people?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's two ways of looking at it. You can either focus on those, trying to go out of your way to get people who just want to be lurkers and turning them into more active members. And you do that by reaching out to them, reach out, say, I saw that you joined us. Is there anything I can do for you? If they engage with you, then, gently leading them back to posting or commenting is one way to do it. What I like to do is focus on the people that do take action. The lurkers or learners, they're there because they want to learn. They're not necessarily there because they want to make those connections or they want to show that they're experts or get exposure for their own brands or anything like that. They're there to learn and walk away. That's what they're doing. I like to focus on the people that will take action. So as that community grows and more people post, more people comment, I will add them to an email list of people that I can reach out to ask them to comment because they've already shown that they'll take action.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is have more of those people. So as new people continue to come in, you always want new blood for your community because communities have people that come back all the time. They have people that come back once a year. So there's always some turnover. And
Yeah.
you want to keep inviting new people and really focus on the ones that are active because those are your partners in building this community.
Yeah, exactly. And as a community builder, uh, what are your goals in building a community? And do you break them down into, monthly and weekly and daily goals?
Yeah. So I like to have goals that lead back to the company itself. What are we trying to do with that community? Are we trying to get more exposure, build out a movement for methods that we use? Are we trying to help our customers be more successful? So if it's a support community or starts out as a customer community, a support community, then it's about helping deflect some of the support tickets. It's about helping customers so that they don't constantly have to go ask their customer success manager. So those are the things you want to watch. How much activity am I getting? How many people are asking questions? How many people are looking at this post to learn a little bit more? And really, it's about, do these posts, do these questions lead back to the goal that we're trying to reach of helping them be more successful? In something like inbound.org, it was more about, getting that volume and reaching more and more people to help them work more effectively in inbound marketing around those methods that HubSpot used. So you want to understand what your company goals are and then choose the metrics that best meet those company goals and make sure your content is focused on that.
Yeah.
So daily active users, weekly active users, the number of posts, those all mean something. They show you that the community is moving, but if you're focused on customer success, then it's about your NPS, it's your C stat, it's, how many questions are being asked and answered that support would normally have to answer themselves. Um, with the communities that are larger, it's about, the metrics are about the growth, like how many people are coming, how many people are signing up as members, how many people are earning badges, what do those badges mean for us as a company?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. You've rightly said that uh, a lot of, especially SaaS businesses, they run communities to, you know, uh, remove some load off their customer support team, so that users themselves can answer each other's uh, queries, solve each other's problems. So I see HubSpot doing this so much. I see Shopify doing this. I see Zapier also, doing this so much. Yeah, I think that it works. Uh, Pretty well as a customer support forum. I mean, a community for a lot of these SaaS businesses. SaaS businesses, definitely, yeah. So, yeah, uh, right. So, running communities is not, uh, you know, uh, is not all rainbows and unicorns all the time, right? So there are a lot of
Right.
challenges that come with running communities. So, can you talk
Mhm.
about some of those and how you overcome them? How you overcame them?
Yeah, so I think it's about, getting started. What kind of content do you post? Um, what do you do to start reaching out to those customers, and who do you talk to? It's easy enough to say you want to talk to customers, but who owns that relationship with them right now? There's a lot of internal work to, build relationships with your internal teams like marketing or customer success and account management, and really work together so that you have access to the email list or the customer names so that you can reach out to them and learn about the content that the customers want to learn. um, I'd say that for a lot of people, it's the internal relationships. You don't realize how important they are
Yeah,
and how much you need them as much as the other team needs them. And community can only affect every team in your company if there is a relationship there between the community and that team. So really building that out is kind of building its own community. I mean, you're building an internal group of people that see this vision and really want to bring it together and support each other in doing that. And that can be difficult to put together when you're already starting a community for your customers.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Uh, all right. So you're working for the outreach community currently. So can you go step by step on how you've grown the community from 1 to 15,000?
Right. So that's our sales hacker community. I came on last year, and we have a lot of blog subscribers and people that are on our newsletter. So we built out the community. We used a founders group of 30 to 50 people, it was about, that were actually active in the founders group, with helping us build out the content. And it was one at a time, reaching out to people and asking, can you go post here? Can you go answer this question? And bringing that all together. On top of that, we have the blog content and the newsletter, and using those things, we've been able to slowly build up to that. It's 17,000 now. And, we're doing other activities, working with experts within sales so that they'll expose sales hacker to their own followers. And it's a little bit of just everything coming together to add up to that 17,000 people.
Okay. All right. I think we're almost at the end of our scheduled time. So a few last quick questions. So you're one of the you are an experienced community professional who has years of experience, like close to a decade of experience building communities. What is your advice to aspiring community builders?
Take the time to talk to anyone you can in community and constantly learn. Um, you know, I am active in different groups, CMX and Community Club, and it's really talking to people and understanding what they do in their job, what they've been successful at, has helped give me ideas of how to get more results, like do even better at any of the projects I work on. Community can get very granular, and it's starting to, with some companies are hiring someone that will just oversee super users programs, or oversee events management, or just growth. And being able to talk to people who are in those positions or have focused specifically on those areas in their community career really helps you build up your knowledge so that you can be more successful with any company you work with.
Yeah. And do you suggest any resources for
What's
learning
that?
about? Do you suggest any resources to learn about building communities?
Sure. I love Fever.Bee.
Mm.
They have really great courses that I've taken. CMX is starting to put out good, like really good courses.
Yeah.
David and Spinks and Richard Millington are very different, but both really love community. So I like following both of them. And just being part of the community groups. So community.club and CMX on Slack and Facebook, you'll learn a lot.
And one last question: do you look up to any community builders yourself, or did you have any mentors in your journey?
Any mentors in my journey? I wouldn't say there's any one specific person that stands out that I've gone to a lot, but I do really like to follow Richard Millington, Fever
Right.
Bee. Just his focus on not using, but how much he knows about the psychology of people and society, and bringing that as part of your community approach really helps me as a people person to be able to build those relationships and make sure others are enjoying the process as much as I am.
Okay. Okay. I think we're at the end of our conversation. Uh, yeah, it's been great talking to you, Mary.
No problem. Thanks
Yeah.
for having me.
So yeah, we'll be in touch again. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you
Oh,
so much. Yeah. Have a good day.
no problem. You too.
All right. Bye bye.